Week 10. Oh, defense, where did you go? Early intro. Before we get into the negatives of this game, which, I mean, there aren't many, because we did win, and it was a kind of exciting game, but before we get into the things that I would consider negatives, we'll talk about the positives real quick, which was the offense. Kicking was good, 2 for 2. Raleigh Patterson, especially the game-winning field goal, that was a very important kick. Jared Goff was back to being his efficient self. He didn't have a great Week 8, but he was really good today. High completion percentage, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. Really can't ask anything more of the guy. David Montgomery came back in this game and was excellent. He had like 8 yards per carry. He had 116 yards and a touchdown and that one really long run where he bounced off of the guy. A really good run for Montgomery. Gibbs was also pretty solid, 77 yards, 5.5 yards per carry, but 2 rushing touchdowns. That is good for my fantasy team. I like that we have both as an option, and we still have more depth there. I think that that is going to be huge for playoff football. Amon-Ra St. Brown is still fantastic. He's actually leading his draft class in receptions. And you know why that's funny? Because in his same draft class is Jamar Chase. He's pretty good. And Brock Wright got a touchdown, the other tight end, instead of Sam Laporta. That is not good for my fantasy team. You stole some points from me. Yeah, but overall 41 points scored in this game. Obviously, the offense was firing on all cylinders. It's what you want. What you don't want is your defense to give up 38 points. Kirby Joseph did get that 1 interception early in the game, but he also missed a crucial tackle in the 4th quarter that if he would have made that tackle, there's a chance that they wouldn't have scored, at least not as quick as they did. None of the secondary played particularly well. Justin Herbert really could do what he wanted in this game. Not quite as much as Lamar Jackson did a few weeks ago, but he still did way too much. The pass rush was, again, non-existent, 0 sacks. Really didn't pressure him much. And the big thing here, it was 24-10 in the 2nd quarter. That's a pretty decent lead. By halftime, it was tied. You cannot do that. It was tied 31-31. And the thing is, listen, the Chargers are at least on paper, should be a pretty good team, should be a playoff caliber team. This year, they really haven't been in terms of like record. They don't have a hugely impressive record. They don't have one that screams we're going to the playoffs. If the season ended right now, they wouldn't be. The team still has a lot of talent, and that's something that the Lions have historically struggled to be able to win. Is a game where you're playing, even this year when they've been good, yes, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs Week 1, but they also were missing a couple of key figures on that team, and they were, Super Bowl hangover, whatever. They haven't beat anyone that's, like, really good this year yet. They lost to the Ravens, they lost to the Seahawks even. And this is the closest one to a game where they won versus an actually good team. But the problem is, Brandon Staley is not a good coach. Now, I'm not saying Brandon Staley is, like, awful, but he's not good. And, yes, they won this game, but if you play this game 10 times, how often are they beating them? I don't know. The offense was really good today. It needs to stay like that. And the defense, hey, play better, please. They've been really bad the last couple of weeks. They were good in Week 8 versus the Raiders, but the week before that against the Ravens, they were awful. The Seahawks game, they were bad. They need to get more consistent, and the secondary definitely needs to play better. Next week is against the Bears. It is not the Thanksgiving game yet. That is the week after. The Bears, Justin Fields may or may not be back. He's supposed to be back. At least that's what they're projecting at this point in the week when I'm filming this on Wednesday. So we'll see if he plays. The Lions are not good against scrambling quarterbacks. We saw that with Lamar Jackson. So if he's playing, they have to keep that contained. I expect a win because the Bears aren't exactly like a powerhouse, especially this season, but you never know with the Lions. I think they'll win. I expect to win. If they lose, that's not a good sign. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Back from the bye week, so we'll be doing this for the rest of the season, and then come playoff time, I have something special prepared. It won't just be this, even if the Lions are in the playoffs. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.